getting coffee.
It's
Butterfingers.
ring ring.
Miss Butterball is here.
You're so disrespecting. Ring ring ring. Oh, just spit on my face again. Ring ring ring. Hello, simps and virgins and people who don't spit on faces. And welcome back to Krown's magical spitting.
The spitting cave is back, baby. I'm spitting and fucking swallowing today as Bitcoin comes back down after that rejection at $52,000. And of course, that is why $52,000 is the big bad area that we've been watching for a while now. As long as Bitcoin's below it, there ain't no big bad fucking breakout to be talking about, as I have been seeing all across the social media sphere right there. So with all of that in mind, range to range, it is quite literally that simple. And quite literally, until Bitcoin closes above $52,000, I really don't think that there's too much interesting things to be getting excited about for more massive upside with targets up to like $58,000, $59,000 and probably even beyond there over time. Anyways, I need to turn off the damn alerts over here. Not that I don't appreciate it, but because we got some very important things to be getting into today, I even want to show up a few new things on the Krown Chain application because it is going to be updated massively in the next few days here. So you have something very, very big to be getting excited about, hopefully. Anyways, before we get into that, I should let you know that that I can't fucking speak. Apologies on that one. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that we do have a sale going on for the end of the year. It goes until the end of the year for the next 3-4 days, whatever it is. I guess actually 5 days right there. So fair enough. Anyways, more importantly with that, make sure that you watch the promotional videos that accompany any one of the programs that you might be interested in. They're going to explain who they're for and who they're not for, and then you can make an educated decision for yourself. As always, I want to reiterate my stance with them, with any programs, with any sort of thing. Realistically, in life, actually, it's probably going to take a long time to get to where you want to be. There is no such thing as a magic pill. There is a such thing as hard work and dedication, however, and typically speaking, we find with people in the TA program that they get to about where they want to be in about a year to year and a half of consistent effort. And of course, the other programs, well, the promotional videos will handle that as well. What else do I want to talk about before we get into the deep and down and dirty nitty gritty of this whole thing? Well, do we have any top 10 best coins to be looking at right now? Actually, someone sent me a great video last night of the top. He did like an animation of me doing the top 10 best coins and just calling them all shit coins. It's actually quite funny. I need to pull that up. Anyways, we do see Icon with some big gains in the last 24 hours, as we do see Sushi Swap as well, Ravencoin, Immutable X, Audius, Kusama, all on the winners list, but not humongous gains. I mean, you know, if this was in traditional markets, this would be a great day, but it would be like a historic day. But if it's in cryptocurrency land, not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. Just a regular Monday right there. Anyways, I want to show you a few new things that are coming onto the app in the next few days here on the next update, and something that you might be interested in. So I want to go over here because it's actually pertinent for today's analysis in the sense that I would be looking at both the funny rate and the open interest. Wait, where's my damn open interest? Open interest, where have you gone? No! Where is it? Motherfucker! Let me go into the market data over here. Here, it should be over here. Anyways, we actually have hourly updating feeds now for not all of the data, but all of the relevant data that we can actually do that for. Oh, bastard, it's not fucking updating, so I guess we can't go to it right now. All right, well, you know what? We can go to the regular market data tab over here. I do want to follow up on a few things, and we actually will have this in the new update. Of course, maybe a bad presentation right there. Apologies on that. But more importantly, we do see that the global leverage ratio and the global open interest both marching up now to some pretty critical levels. We are, for example, at about the same levels that we did see from April of this year on Bitcoin, pretty much prior all-time high at $65,000, and getting rather close to what we did see back around early November on the current all-time high at about $69,000. Now, that coupled up with the fact that the leverage ratio is actually even higher than both of those instances, meaning that there is more leverage compared to spot positions put on in this particular instance right here. We are going to be in a very, very nasty predicament right now for Bitcoin price action, because there is going to be a massive liquidation event, very, very likely, similar to what we saw back on over here, similar to what we saw in late September, or sorry, early September, and then of course a more recent one in early November. Now, all of these did lead towards, in this case, downside moves. Technically speaking, just because there is high leverage doesn't mean that it's always going to be resolved to the downside, but because you know, typically longers are a lot more aggressive than shorters in this market, or this market is just, you know, a lot more apt towards doing that. I guess that is the usual result, as we have seen. Anyways, for what it's worth right now, this is putting Bitcoin in a bit of a precarious place. And we do see that the global funding rate as well is starting to march up towards 0.01% all over the last 24 hours. Now, if we do go back on over here, which I can get the hourly data for the funding rates, you will see that that is actually, it's consistent on the daily, of course, but on the hourly, we actually are a lot less than that right now. So you know, it's not necessarily the full picture, as you can see right there. And then more importantly, when we go back on over and put the whole puzzle pieces together, you can imagine that with funding rates essentially trending up over, or I wouldn't say trending up, but going up significantly at levels that we haven't seen. I mean, we haven't really seen, I mean, we have seen these levels in the last like few weeks, to be fair. But my point is that, you know, with funding rates going up, now we can say that in the last 24 hours, a lot of those positions, a lot of this open interest that was added in the last 24 hours is actually going to be longs, not shorts being added right there. And what are they essentially doing? They're trying to play that damn breakout, that fucking breakout at $52,000. Again, this is the same level that we've actually had marked off since... It's the same level that we've had marked off since, I don't know, I guess way back on over here on 7th of December. Now we see that Bitcoin tested right fucking into it yesterday and rejected from it. And this is just the very simplistic way of looking at price action, going from level to level. And of course, what's most likely to happen when you test a level like that? You're probably going to pull back. As we did say was likely yesterday, I said a pullback target of about $50,000, kind of where I'm looking towards. We got $50,000, a little bit lower than that as well, which does put Bitcoin in a rather bizarre place. So what do I mean by that? And what is a little bit more concerning about this as of right now, or is it concerning is the real question? Is this an emergency? Well, here's the way that I look at it. With Bitcoin coming back down to the next central level, the median of the range right here, you can see that's also on the CME 55 exponential average for the 4 hour as well. So as long as Bitcoin is above there, I actually do look at this as likely your next higher low. Now, there are a few confounding variables within this whole equation that do make me consider that this is maybe not the next higher low that you're looking for. And when we go into the higher term timeframes, it does start to put a bit of a damper on that picture, if you will. So first and foremost, what is the confounding variable that I'm talking about right now? Well, volatility on this time frame is actually at the highs right now. We're not seeing it contract. I mean, it's going to contract, but we're not seeing it in the very low percentiles. And when I say low, I mean 20 percentile minimum for something like this, which is what you want to see on your higher lows in this case. Now, we would technically have hidden bullish evidence present if Bitcoin does put in a local low right here, but I would say that this is certainly not a perfect setup if you are in the program and you're following the Krown cross strategy. Well, this would not be a perfect setup right here. Doesn't mean that it can't work, but it does mean that the efficacy of that strategy is certainly reduced. And as we're going to go in just a second here, there are a few concerning things with the higher term timeframes, obviously. But as long as Bitcoin does hold on to this level, about $49,000 on a 4 hour closing basis, or 49.3 essentially, or well, look, if you're going to be using a closing basis, you could actually use an hourly in this case. Anywhere below about 48.5 is going to be obviously devastating, but I wouldn't put it past Bitcoin to test back down there a few more times. Of course, until we get this next 4 hour closure, I wouldn't say that this level's necessarily broken, nor is it in danger just yet. But of course, it is. You know, that is kind of like the major balancing point that we're looking at right now. So you do want to see Bitcoin essentially close above this region, or added at minimum, and then over the next 2 to 3 4 hour delta closures, we do want to see, of course, a bit of a reversal from there. So technically speaking, you might, depending upon how this one closes, which we actually will be able to see today on this stream in 51 minutes and 13 seconds. If it does start to close as a bit more of a hammer dildo right there, that would be the next sort of somewhat good signal, I would say, for the short-term timeframes. But here's the thing, when we do incorporate the full picture on this, well, actually, there's a few things on this one. So should I give you the bullish view on this one or the bearish view on this one first? First off, let me polish off this damn coffee, and I should record this damn video is what I should be doing. Oh, what's up, Mr. Nimble? I see you over there. Anyways, does Elliot make you wear slick back hair and makeup for his videos today? No, I actually just came out of the sauna for that one, man. I wasn't even going to record a video for that, but I was feeling cute, and then I uploaded. What's up, African Crypto Warlord? Good morning to you as well. Man, I got way ahead of myself today. I was supposed to record all of that, and I didn't. And Nikki Page, good morning to you as well. Our lovely moderators are all here, keeping everyone safe and Safu. Jack Assman, good morning to you. Damiola, Kazim. Wow, that is a fun name to be saying, actually. Damiola. Is that your name? Holy shit, man. Where are you from? That's a very exotic name. Jack Frost, good morning to you as well. Mr. Sidhu, good morning to you. It rhymes, so you know it's true as well. 420, an OG of the cave. Christina Marina as well. Chris Biolo, fucking who else do we have over here? Willis. Good morning to you. And D Fox, another OG of the cave. I certainly recognize that name over the past few years. So let me just polish this off. We're actually going to go through this in a more streamlined way. I can do a better job than what I just did right there. There we go, sirs and zers. And actually, I probably need to get some water for this one as well. All right, so let's do this properly, huh? All right, here we have Bitcoin on CME 4-hour time frame, and of course, what happened in the last 24 hours since we last spoke. Bitcoin did get rejected by the same area that we've had marked off from the 7th of December highs, the range highs essentially, and this is a good time to kind of be curtailing back and just simplifying here. When you're looking at ranges, what's the most likely thing to happen on a range test? You're likely to, in this case, pull back from it, and on a range low, you're likely to bounce up from it. Bless you, sir. Elsa's sneezing in the background in case you're wondering what that noise is. And more importantly, with this, is this a devastating blow to Bitcoin right now? I would say not necessarily just yet. However, there are a few things to be aware of right now that would indicate that and very likely insinuate another test back down, ultimately to our range lows, which is of course in the $46,000 to $47,000 region right now. Anyways, what essentially am I looking for right now? Well, Bitcoin is dancing on the 55 exponential average, which I do look at as an area to put in a higher low if trend does remain to the upside. Now, there are a few things supporting this. One would be the 4-hour RSI would have, technically speaking, hidden bullish divergence if we do confirm a local low right here. What would be necessary in order to confirm a local low right there? Well, we'd want to see if we're looking for a bit of a range reversal on the short-term time frames. A closure back above at no less $50,000 on a 4-hour time frame would look pretty damn good. Or if you want to get super granular with it, well, $50,000 probably works in this case. And then yes, I would be looking at that as confirmed hidden bullish divergence, and Bitcoin probably does trudge sideways and up from there. Here's the thing though, and what I do not like about this current setup as it is that the 4-hour BBWP is actually at the highs right now, and we really want to see BBWP contracted below about 20 percentile or 25 percentile at minimum when we are looking for higher lows on on a strategy like that. Now, it should also be known that Bitcoin is basing off on the daily 200 moving average on CME as well, and as long as Bitcoin is above there, it's not like the best risk reward trade to be like selling into a major area like that in my experience, as well as a short-term range low right here as well that is still operating on a higher low basis. However, there should be a few things known about momentum over here. So we're going to go into the short-term timeframes for CMEs first, and we do see 4-hour Stokes going to be corrective here at best as long as Bitcoin's below 51,600. Thank you, baby. I got some nice Finnish water. It's really, really good. I strongly recommend. Anyways, water good. Water equal good. 3 hours also correcting here as well as long as we're below about $52,000, and bi-hourly is corrective as long as below 51,300, and hourly is also flip-floppy around. We'll be turning up above 49,100 or so. So keep all those numbers in mind. And basically, what would I call the short and medium term time frame range essentially being resolved in this case to the downside, meaning no higher low right here, and very likely Bitcoin coming back down over the next maybe week or so back down to the range lows. Well, that would be either with a 4-hour closure below our current wick low, which is about 48,665 on CME. Again, this is the most clean and clear chart if you're using spot price action. Obviously, whatever the low of the 4-hour dildo is right there. Could we use an hourly in this case as well? It's going to be a little bit more delicate in an hourly case. I'd say below about 48,400 would be rather concerning, of course, but I would not feel as confident with that. So here's the thing, and here's what I kind of want to wrap up this whole talk with is the daily right here. And I want to go back to this chart that we've been following for a very long time now, about a month now, talking about this signal. So I'm going to put back on my drawing tools, and I want to talk about the daily stochastic momentum on CME specifically. And we're going to take this 1 or 2 steps deeper on this particular video as we follow up on the signal that we've been watching for the past, like I said, about 3 to 4 weeks now, actually. And what is it essentially? Okay, so first things first, all of these blue vertical bars, of which there are 8 of them, not including the ones that are very, 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 very close to each other. We're going to get to that in a second here. But all of them represent the same sort of territory being hit on the daily stochastic momentum indicator, which is that test down to this green lower horizontal bar right here. And as you can see, pretty much all of these, or sorry, not pretty much all of these have produced some pretty impressive bounces, even within the context of very nasty, heavy downside bearish markets. I'll take the worst of these iterations, the worst performing signal from that from that fractal signal was back on over here in August 2018, and even that one did produce about a 26-27% move to the upside. And as of right now, from our current signal low, do we have a comparable bounce to that? Well, let's measure it out actually. And no, well, I would argue no. Of course, you make your decision for yourself. Obviously, it's about a 12% bounce from low to high in this case. And of course, that implies, or at least to me, that we are missing a few other things. So what could we possibly be missing right here, or what is the full picture in this case? case. As you see, or as you can very likely see, I've highlighted 3 of these iterations of the signal that kind of align with our current one that is going on, or sorry, that would be the 3rd one actually. Now, first and foremost, all of these iterations are accompanied by the same technical formation. In this case, we have an ascending triangle. In this case, over here in March 2020, we also have an ascending triangle. And more recently, in this gigantic one, we've been essentially putting in an ascending triangle for the past 9 months or so, assuming that the weekly higher low does hold. Where's your weekly higher low coming in from? Well, anywhere above $41,000 is a higher low on the weekly right there. So that is very much worth knowing in this case. Otherwise, below there, that destroys the whole like long-term macro bullish setup, at least in my eyes. And you could probably be looking forward towards price action into the low $30,000 territory for what it's worth. Anyways, I want to take this, and here's where we're going to take this a few steps deeper. So on these signals, sorry, we're not actually there just yet. I need to explain this part. Apologies. But basically, the signal itself is in this red highlighted area right here, where you see essentially a base at the green horizontal region, a couple rejections after testing it a couple times, and then acceptance after at least 2, and on this case, 3 back above the critical zone. So keep that one in mind. We're going to go back to the March 2021. That's this one right here, where you do see first test rejected, second test accepted, and off to the races after that. And then, of course, the one before that was at your cycle lows, your macro cycle lows in this case, 3100 from December 2018, January 2019 region, where you see first test reject, second test reject, third test accepted. This one is incredibly similar to the one that we're working on right now. Now, here's what I want to talk about today that is actually new so that we can follow up on this. Now, you'll notice that even though these signals did produce, some pretty impressive macro lows in this case, it did take some time from that signal given. And then more importantly, you do see that this first move up towards your range highs, towards your fucking range highs yet again, was rejected and did lead into your next higher low. So I wanted to mark off the area at which we saw this rejection happen. It's right about here, pretty much right at the edge of the bullish control zone at the 60 read, as you can see. And well, you see top number 1, top number 2 on this test of the range highs. Obviously, that did actually lead back down towards a move pretty much around the lows, actually. So this was not just like the next fucking day, Bitcoin to the moon. No, it took about 2 months of just putting in higher lows after higher lows after higher lows consistently. And then, yeah, it was fucking green dildo party to the moon and beyond. Great, busted action all the way through. Anyways, we see the same thing back on over here as well. What do you fucking know? Bitcoin pops up. We see daily stochastic momentum get all the way up to that same green horizontal region. And guess where the fuck that is? That's at the high of this range. Basically your prior breakdown right here. It's not actually perfectly done, but you get the point. But basically this prior breakdown right here tests the highs right there, reject, comes back down, sets in a higher low. Yes, but this takes a long time over here. Understand that these things do require, well, patience, I do suppose. So when we're looking at our current area right now, with Bitcoin essentially testing its current range highs, well, what do you expect? You expect a bit of a pullback. And guess what? The daily stochastic momentum is actually going to test into that region today. Assuming that Bitcoin just doesn't close below $46,000 today, we will see this obviously continue up, and it'll end somewhere around this projection, as you can see with these 2 little dots right here. So that would be right around the same fucking region that we did see the last 2 ones put in their first sort of range highs and then pull back. That pullback led into the higher low. That higher low was the was the lowest low ever before, never going below it ever again on both of those iterations for specifically CME yet again right here. So I thought that was rather interesting and perhaps worth knowing. What would invalidate this as essential, as an essential trade idea or an essential setup? Well, obviously, if we are going to be running with that assumption, we would expect that Bitcoin does not close anywhere lower below about 46,800 or so on CME specifically, on a daily closure specifically as well. So could Bitcoin come down to where it is right now and then reverse? Perhaps yes, although it doesn't necessarily look too strong right there, to be honest with you. Could it come down a little bit lower and put in an ever so slightly higher low, maybe at the retest of that falling channel? Possible, I suppose, as well. I suppose that would be the bullish view, and then pops back above that critical $52,000 region. If you see anything like that, that's going to look really, really good. I suppose the more recent, the more immediate hopium is that Bitcoin's putting in its higher low right here on a short-term time frame, like a 4 hour. Well, it's possible, yes. Again, it's certainly not destroyed as an opportunity just yet, but understand where that certainly does get destroyed and where the next sort of regions to be aware of are. It's probably somewhere down around, like I said, about 47, maybe 47,500 or so is where I'd be looking for on a potential higher low. That would look really fucking good for the long term if Bitcoin does fill this area right here. What would look very bad for the long term is Bitcoin closing on new lows. That negates everything of this potential setup for the long term. And, well, and get ready for the red dildo party, I guess, after that. So fair enough. Anyways, Again, $52,000 right here is the big, bad, magical number towards the upside. As long as Bitcoin's below there, can't really get too excited about any sort of major, massive moves that we've been saying over the past few days, or even like a week now, or 2 weeks, or whatever the hell it's been. If Bitcoin does pop back above there, I am looking for Bitcoin to essentially pop back up significantly, somewhere around $58,000 to $59,000 prior highs from this breakdown. That's going to look really, 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 really good for the long term, obviously, and confirm all sorts of momentum oscillators for hidden bullish evidence plays on some pretty damn powerful time frames. We have the weekly right here, which I mean, technically already confirmed. So, you know, it does align with the probabilities of Bitcoin coming back down, maybe backfilling last week's open and then trying some upside from there. That's kind of where I'm at right now, but I wouldn't necessarily front run any of these conditions because, you know, we are looking at really, really big numbers from this current region. So understand what the, understand what the general sort of idea is here. And then of course, I want to bring this chart out as well. This chart being this chart I should have showed yesterday. I don't think that I did show it yesterday. And by the way, we have an update on it to be made. But basically, we were essentially trying to time this current consolidation. This consolidation, meaning that a resolution either above $52,000 or below the range lows at about $46,000, essentially has been very much in line with all the past historical iterations of this. So let me kind of start back from the last year. Of course, we could go back further than this, but I thought that this was good enough. So this is going back to January over here. You can see that there was about 11 days on the highs, on the distributive highs right here, and that was resolved by about 11 days on the accumulation lows. Kind of makes sense from a Wyckoff perspective in the sense that, you know, your causes leads to an effect, and building up a greater cause, you know, essentially consolidating for a long period of time typically leads towards a greater effect. I mean, you see this like quite literally in the next distributive phase right here on 60 days, we get a fucking phenomenally nasty downside move from 60,000 all the way to 30,000, which was resolved by another 63 day long accumulation on the other side. Bitcoin puts in a massive bear trap at $30,000 going all the way up to 53. And then guess what? You get some distribution over here over 14 days, resolved by 10 days on the other side for the accumulation. Bitcoin marches onwards and upwards, completes the current all-time high, and then we spend about 26 days distributing on the high in everyone's face, or in you know what the fuck I mean. And then of course, this 26-day long distribution phase over here, well, right now it is starting to be more and more relevant that Bitcoin is, well, you know, charging up towards this one and looking for a resolution sooner rather than later. So I do believe that this would align with Bitcoin in a more bullish sense long term, just because we are still operating at higher lows. We are a lot closer to the topside resolution of this range. And again, it doesn't need to be exactly 26 days. We see a bit of divergence in some of these numbers. It's slight, yes, but it is comparable more importantly. So whether it's, you know, 24 days, which is what we're working on right now, from basically the 4th of December to where we're at on the 28th of December, or whether it's a few days afterwards, maybe as much as 30 days rather than 26 days, for example. You know, that's kind of where I'm looking for on the resolution of this. And because Bitcoin is closer to the topside resolution of this, which by the way is now in line basically with the 55 exponential average for the daily, which would be massive for Bitcoin to reclaim to the upside, that would look really, 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 really good. And, you know, I still do put the probabilities on an upside resolution for Bitcoin specifically, and by extension, the rest of the market as well, to be fair. Specifically, as long as Bitcoin especially is above the 200 simple moving average right here on a daily closing basis. Below there, things start to look a lot more nasty, we'll say. So do I think that this is front runnable by a 4-hour closure? I did kind of insinuate that earlier. It probably is in this case, to be quite honest with you. A 4-hour closure below our current wick low, or a daily closure by end of day in the next 17 hours, 26 minutes and 16 seconds would probably do it for me. Until then, it's going to be a lot of watching, wishing, waiting, whatever the fuck that saying is. And I think that is a good place to kind of leave this one off. And hopefully that was in some way helpful for that analysis. Please be aware of where all the invalidations are. Please be aware of what the greater picture is kind of looking like. And well, at the end of the day, hopefully that was helpful and in some way valuable. There you go, sirs and sirs. Maybe even consider hitting the like and dirt button. There we go, man. There we fucking go. Okay, I need to take a damn sip of this water. Let me make sure that all the comments are updated over here. We are 35 minutes into this damn video, and it's just getting motherfucking started right now. What's up, Nimbo? I see you over there. And Mr. Bear Nutrition, my good man, my good nutritionist, actually. And Randy Fox, there he is. He needs compensation for damages. What kind of damages, man? What kind of damages has been had over here? Anyways, LOL. Marin isn't a witch, and everyone is in financial astrology knows a dump is coming. Interesting. Sounds legit. Dear Lord, man. Dear fucking Lord. All right. Let me pull up the chats over here. Let's see. Did this update or not? I don't think it did, actually. God damn it, man. Yeah, damn it. All right, need to have another talk with the old developers there, I guess. But fair enough. All right, let me turn down the noise. Let me turn on the wait, wrong alert. There we go. There's the right alert. Okay, beautiful. Let me pull up the chats over here, which I actually don't have handy at this exact moment. There we go. Okay, lovely. And let's see. I'm trying to rearrange all my screens over here. We already got 683 likes on the video as well. That's insane, man. And we got 2,300 people watching. Holy shit, man. What are you guys doing? It's like a holiday season, and it's probably late as fuck in America, which I know that most people are tuning in from. So, well, good morning. And I'm here from the future in Finland right now. It is currently 8:35 a.m. There is not a sun to be seen at this moment. All right, let me scroll through the chats right now and see who is first. I think what? Oh, we actually, okay, yeah, I see. Okay, nice. We got Jack Jansen right now. He says, hey, Krown, hope you're well, bro. I think I am well right now. Near USD on the 4-hour daily weekly. Nice retest happening at the moment. Let's see. I remember that this one was one of the more bullish looking ones in the past week or so. And is this a retest of essentially your breakout area? Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's your retest of your breakout area. It can come down a little bit lower at about 1235 or so. But I do kind of agree with your general synopsis of it. This is, quote unquote good for the weekly, obviously. This is your first sort of pullback after breaking out to new all-time highs on a closing basis. I do think that it could pull back a little bit further, definitely possible towards $12.35, $12.50. But I don't know if that's necessarily relevant towards you. This is a pretty damn good chart still for the long term, and I would still be looking for higher prices, namely towards about $18 before the next sort of short-term, medium-term consolidation. And I'd be looking for a consolidation between about 18 and 14.5 or so, and probably does set it up for a pretty damn good start to 2022. But for right now, if you do go into the short-term time frames, which I know you didn't ask for, but I do think that it is relevant right here just because that's where a lot of things are going on. Yeah, I stick with what I say on this one. I do think that it could very easily come back down to about $12.35 to $12.50. I still look at that or any sort of price action above that level as generally good for the long term. Just you're in your first sort of pullback after your breakout to new all-time highs. The weekly, however, shows a long-term direction, which dare I say, is up on something like this. Pretty fucking good right there. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for that, sir. I see Mr. O'Roy just jumped into first right there. And I have to let everyone know yet again, the way that we've changed around the chats now is that we have to go through in terms of value. That way, I think it's just a more fair. Like if someone donates more, they should be read a little bit further up. I do think. Oh, I see Matt Chapman, another OG of the cave. Good morning to you, man. Good morning to you. And let's see. Okay, so you're saying sushi USD on the 1 hour and 4 hour. Okay. Haven't looked at sushi in a while. Damn fucking food coins, man. I know you asked about FTX. It's not going to matter what exchange we go to. They're all going to have the same price action right here. Well, what do you know, man? Tested the top side of whatever range I had from priorly, and I would be looking for a pullback from this region. Again, it's not a death sentence or anything like that. It's just more likely to pull back from a region like this. Where am I looking for on a potential higher low? Perhaps somewhere down around about $8 to $8.35 or so, depending upon your time frame, which you're on an hourly and 4 hours, so not very high term time frames. So yeah, I'm looking for a little bit of a short term pullback here, somewhere around $8 to $8.35. And looking for a bounce around there. Same thing as before, however, as long as you're closing below that 9.5 or 9.25 region on a 4 hour closure, I'm not looking for any sort of range resolutions to the upside with targets back up towards 11 to 11.25. Personally speaking, this is a great short-term pullback region right here. I mean, not only is it a range high, but it's also the 200 simple on the daily right there. So, good confluence between those two. Looking for a short-term pullback. Again, as long as you're above essentially $8, I'm just looking at, pullbacks to very likely be, rebought and probably march its way upwards and onwards. And long-term, what do you have going on right here? I mean, I'm sure that the boo laws on this one are going to be saying that you have one long-term falling channel in this case. I mean, technically they are right. Problem with falling channels is that the only way to really call a full-on reversal from them is to trade and close back above your prior major high. So in this case, that wouldn't be until over here at about $13.75 to $13.50. So you are still in a downtrend until then, and the problem with falling channels a lot of the time is that you'll just be walked down them like this for fucking eternity until you get either a higher low is the first pretty good signal, and then of course the higher high is the confirmation signal for an actual breakout. But in this case right here, if you're just on the short-term time frame, short-term a little bit more of a pullback. Anything above $8 is still short-term good. Be looking for maybe one more try at that top side 9.25 region. Anyways, let's see. I see Mr. Sid, who, oh, fuck, man. Good morning to you as well, sir. Jesus Christ, man. Very generous, and I do appreciate that. But yeah, you're looking at Cadena. Okay, so daily and weekly on Kaderpa. Kaderpa coin over here. I don't think it's actually that bad. Last we looked at it, yeah, did clean and clearly close above your range highs. So we do have a range resolution in this case, and you are getting your sort of first pullback based upon that, which is okay. It's kind of similar to the last one, but this one actually cleared above its range, so that is, you know, going to be relatively strong. We looked at this one yesterday, and I remember that it actually was looking pretty damn good above that region. So I am looking at this as you know, as anything above about $13 as your next higher low on a short-term time frame. However, you are on a daily and weekly, so I apologize on that because that's not relevant to you. If you go over here to a weekly, well, this is typically a consolidation region right here, to be fair. Hold on. Let's see. Did I chart this? If I'm charting this for a weekly, I do not have the proper chart for a weekly. This is optimized for a daily right now. If I'm doing this one on a weekly, it'll look like this. So basically, your prior breakdown region for right here got retested early this week right here. Short term, a bit of correction is probably in order. And I actually do need to go to the 4 hour in this case. Okay, so we actually will have potential hidden bullish divergence on this next 4 hour closure, assuming that we can put in a bit of a local low right here. But what would confirm this as a local low? Need to see a closure back above about 1540. Until then, it is a bit risky. And again, we see the same thing that we see on Bitcoin spot or Bitcoin CME with BBWP, you know, coming off the highs right here. I really want to see it very, very low when we're pulling back into higher lows. So I would not say that this one's, you know, the perfect setup by any stretch of the imagination. However, if I am on the daily, you know, this is actually still a pretty clean setup right here, and we can actually relate this directly into the weekly. But basically, I look at anything on the daily above $12.50 as good. Can take some time, obviously, and then of course your weekly level, and by extension your next daily upside level is going to be about $18. Above there, I do look for this one to retest your, you know, basically your prior highs of like 23 to 23.5 bucks. I wouldn't necessarily get bearish below $12.50. It just wouldn't be in a good posture for a potential breakout to the upside. Which again, I do think that there's a few things, you know, kind of coming at it from the other angle that do suggest it's maybe not the most likely thing to be happening right here. But regardless of my thoughts on that, you know, even a 12-hour closure below this, what was it, like 1245 region, would be good enough for me for looking for moves back down somewhere between about $9 to $10 or so. Somewhere around here is where I'm essentially looking for if something like that were to be happening. Until then, it's technically in a position of power right here, but I do need to see it resolve above the next range highs for the weekly now, as you kind of are caught between some major levels in this case, and that does make front running like a big breakout very difficult. And typically speaking, you know, just like Bitcoin, when you do hit a major high like this on a weekly, you should be looking for a pullback. We've already kind of got a pullback on this one. I'll just be going from range to range in this case and making it a lot more simplistic. So hopefully that was helpful. And there you go for that one, sir. Actually, a rather interesting chart, as it does show a little bit of relative strength right there, which is good. All right, cool. I think we have Mr. G Dubs W next. Is that what is G? What is? I feel like that's a reference to something, but I don't know. Can you check out? Sorry, apologies. Some coffee came up. Whoa! Oh shit! I had to use double cups of coffee today, man. I'm abusing my body so I could wake up for this damn one. Didn't get a great night of sleep last night. Too many things on the mind, man. Anyways, can you check out TrueBit on any time frame? Thanks, my dude. No problem, my dude. TrueBit, huh? I don't know what the ticker is of this, so I'm just gonna type it in, man. All right, we got a fucking TrueBit shit. Highly esteemed altcoin, very technologically advanced on Ethereum, on fucking Uniswap and SushiSwap. So here's the thing. This is actually an inverted chart. So what we need to do is we need to do the old trickola like that. It's actually not a bad chart for True versus Ethereum. I actually would be looking for this one to retest around your highs, in this case about 5,700 butyrols or so. And this is a general uptrend. We have an obvious reversal right here. This is actually exactly what you wanted to see Bitcoin do in order to make Bitcoin a lot more simple in this case. But basically a falling channel reversal right here, a falling wedge reversal right there. You get your test up to towards your range highs from your prior major breakdown, and then you set in a higher low after that. That's generally good. And there's no reason, in my opinion, to be bearish on something like this as long as you are now above this 8,600 region right here. I'm basically looking for this one to retest the highs of this rally for what it's worth, and come back to it after that, closure above there, and I guess send this one back up towards like your May highs in this case. Hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for that one, sir. Sir, yes, sir, indeed. Mr. Fugazik says, hey, Krown, what's up, man? Could you check out Joe on Trader Joe? Yeah, actually, I can. As long as it's on TradingView, and yeah, it is on TradingView. I recognize this one. I need to invert this chart yet again. So this is the real chart right here. This is a very interesting chart actually, and a very good chart as well. I don't really know what this thing is, but funnily enough, actually am like staking some in this whatever the fuck it is, whatever it is. Anyways, you do have a nice low being built right here. It is a bit more of a complex low, which is fine. Obviously, those are typically very, very strong ones. But overall, you are in one massive accumulation formation, and you are looking for a range resolution relatively soon at about 255 or so. Above there, I do look for this one to trade back up towards your prior range highs at about 315 to 320 or so. And then long term, where do you get excited about something like this? On any sort of a closure above about 380 with targets up towards $6-7 after that, and then come back to it from that time frame. But for right now, this is actually showing a lot of strength in the short term and showing that we are putting in a nice base. So we do have multiple drives of bullish divergence coming off the lows. We do see daily jewel with a pretty damn good signal right here supported by DMI. And we do see that this is all coming on very, very low volatility. So I look at this as probably a major low being built in right now, and long term very likely does break out to the upside. However, that can take a long fucking time, man. I mean, that could take until, I would say at minimum, late January, early February, to be quite honest with you, for the long-term breakout. But for right now, no reason to be bearish on something like this, in my opinion, as long as you're above about $2 base, looking, decent. Anyways, I see Miguel Alvarez says there's always more watching when on the down. Smash the like. I would appreciate that, but you don't have to fucking do it. Just tickle the like as well. We'll get the message across. Jesus Christ, man, a lot of craziness going on in the chats right now. A lot of people just, I wonder why people do this, but people will just be like, Matic to $10 in all capital. It's like, what kind of fucking moron are you fooling with a message like that? Like, no offense, man, but just shouting out like numbers does not make number go up. Maybe I might be wrong on that. Who knows? Anyways, we have Mr. Tyler Reich next. He says FTM for and daily. Much love to you as well, sir. Okay, FTM. Yeah, this one's we haven't followed up on this one in a while. Let's see. I think last I looked at it on Elliot's channel, it's actually okay. Yeah, tested the range highs right here, pretty damn good, and that of course is fine. But just like Bitcoin testing around its range highs, you look for a pullback first things first after something like that. And this thing can pull back rather aggressively all the way down. I wouldn't say to 175 now. That would be a little more concerning, but all the way down to about 190. Below 190, this one does start to initiate some pretty nasty downside moves back down to like 150 to 160-ish region. But still, this one, as we've been saying for a while, is just in one massive long-term consolidation, it looks like to me. I'm sure that some people are going to be like, but Krown, it's a head and shoulders. Can't you see the head and shoulders? It's a head and shoulders. Head and shoulders have terrible hit rates, sirs and zers. And of course, do you want like a little fucking tidbit as to when to actually play a head and shoulders? And this actually does work incredibly well in my experience. When you have a head and shoulders that has a neck, or that essentially gets completed below the 200 simple moving average, or just a yearly moving average, essentially, those are the ones that lead into some very long-term nasty macro reversals. And guess where that is? That's below about 1.25 or so. So of course, coming back down there certainly wouldn't be bullish, but as long as you're above there, long term, I would not say that is playable or relevant like at all. Short term, however, do I think that you pull back a little bit more from here? Probably yes. Anywhere back down to like 190 is fair game and wouldn't really do all that much. However, below 190, especially on a higher term time frame closure, I do look for this one to fall back down significantly towards your, maybe not exact range lows, but somewhere around about 160-ish region is where I'd be looking for. Until then, if you're on the higher term timeframes, I mean, you can still be using this level right here. I mean, it's still fucking working, obviously, and the exact levels are coming in from this wick high, which is about 235. Above there on a daily closure, I do look for this one to retest around, not necessarily this region right here, but probably more like somewhere around $3 overall, and that would look pretty damn good. Do I think that that's what's happening right here? Probably not. No, I do think that we are seeing, or we're very likely going to see, some hidden bearish evidence on this high, as it technically is still an ever so slightly lower high, and we are making significantly higher highs on daily RSI. So I do think that you're a lot more likely to pull back here. Just be aware of that 190-ish region. If you do lose that, that is, going to imply another, I don't know, like 10, 20% pullback. Hold on, let me actually measure this one out. 190 to 160. Okay, that's definitely not a 20% pullback, but that is about a 15% pullback right there. So fair enough. Just be aware of, just be aware of what's at stake for something like that. Anyways, Style Exteriors. What's up, man? For some reason, I can't say that name. Sir, let us review a top quality technology this evening. A true Shiite coin. Sorry, not Shiite like the Muslims, but Shat coin, like a poop. FCL USD for our daily weekly. Okay, does this pure accumulation to you? The old accumulation. Guys, this is under whale accumulation. It's like, what the fuck did I just hear? Is this under whale accumulation? Well, the good news is that you're very close to a pity bounce. The bad news is that pity bounces are just that, very likely pity bounces, man. Terrible chart right here for something named Fractal. I wonder what this thing does. Whatever it does, it doesn't do very well. Do I think that you can bounce from, from a region like this around 15 cents, maybe even a little bit lower? I mean, where is your last like major sort of base? Anywhere between like 14 to 15 cents or so. Yeah, it could very easily bounce up to like towards like 23 to 24 cents. But in my opinion, best it does to the upside is something like this, and then probably comes back down. Can't really be bullish on something like this as long as you're below, especially, what is this, 30 cents or so? Yeah, about 30 cents in this case. And long term, if you want to go buy the book, then you're basically looking at about 52 cents right here. Fair enough. I do think it'd be appropriate to be a little more aggressive in this case, but ultimately, you don't want to bounce to the upside. Where you're gonna first like confirm something like that? That's gonna be above about 19.5 cents, and then of course, looking at a target towards 24 to 25 cents after that. And I don't think I just wouldn't trust something like this more than you can fucking throw it. And in this case, I don't think that you can throw it too damn far, man. Especially with the history given on something like this. Oh man, you gotta love the Shiite coins right there. Sorry, Shat coins. I mean, anyways, Juvan official says community proposal: if Bitcoin breaks 125,000 by July 2022, we get to choose your haircut for a week using community vote led by Elsa. Oh dear Lord. And by the same metric, how about I get to make a vote on what everyone else does in this community? It's like, sorry, I don't mean to make fun of what you're saying, but it just reminds me of this one time where someone was like, hey man, I'm gonna make a challenge towards you. I challenge you to eat like a vegan for the next year. It's like, I challenge you to shut the fuck up. It's like, what? Like, what? Okay, anyone can make a fucking challenge, right? Like, what the hell? It just seemed bizarre. Philson, there he is. What's up, man? And Michael Blast, another OG, two OGs of the cave right there. It's like you can just make anyone do what you want. Just propose, right? I guess, the answer is always no if you don't ask. But yeah, man, look, if you want to play a game like that, sure. The problem is that I don't think that Bitcoin gets to 125,000 by July, or at least, well, by July. I mean, I think this market probably tops out certainly before July, probably more like March, April. But fair enough. Yeah, I don't know. What sort of a haircut do you want? Just nothing of fucking a buzz cut, man. Do you know how long it took me to grow this damn mop? Do you know how long it took me to grow this damn mop over here? All right. Let's see. Where did I leave off over here? I think that we have Mr. Some Jerk 32 next. He says Cardano on the 6-hour and daily, please. And thank you, sure, man. Let's see what Carderpio is doing over here. 145, finally getting that bounce that we've been speaking about. Holy shit. And was our bounce target met at 155 to 160? I think it was met. Nice. Why does this one not look like the chart that I've charted out? Well, whatever. Just like Bitcoin, after hitting a major level like this, you're probably going to expect a bit of a pullback. If we go down to the short-term time frames, which I believe you did somewhat ask for, I would be looking at this one as still putting in higher lows as long as you're above about 140 or so. But that would imply that short-term, yeah, you can come back down around there. It's not too problematic for like the long-term structure. Obviously, the big bad area to be taken out was already taken out on yesterday's, a few days prior closure at 150 or 148. So I'm looking for pullbacks to put in higher lows anywhere between kind of where you're at right now and 140 or so. Where does this one start to fall apart and look quote unquote very bad? That would be with a 4-hour closure below about 139, 140-ish region, insinuating moves at minimum back down to about 130 and perhaps even all the way back down to your prior range lows, which I would not be of that opinion right now, to be quite honest with you. Again, it's going to be a little more important to be watching what Bitcoin does in the current region like this, but it is starting to set in a base here, to be fair. Like, I don't think Cardano is going to print new lows below like $1 before it does extend the bounce a little bit more long term. But this is like your first potential real bounce that you're looking at on a weekly. Monthly, same thing. Very likely does trade up from here into the early 2022. I'm just curious where this next 4-hour higher low likely comes in. It could be right here. It could be a little bit lower at 140 or so. I remain looking at this one as likely to extend the bounce into early 2022. Again, as long as that condition is met, and hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, you will have hidden bullish divergence right there. Again, volatility on pretty much everything is coming from the same level, so can't really get too excited about that, but fair enough. I think you understand what I'm saying, or at least hopefully you understand what I'm saying, and if not, well, just let me know, I guess. Anyways, we got Hurricane Bully next. Nice name. Will Algorand cover that huge wick at $3 range sooner or later? Well, there's no promises that anything covers anything. it's all a game of probabilities and statistics in this case, but basically you are asking what it like is it likely to trade back up towards $3 sooner rather than later? I mean, right now, man, it's still on lower highs right here on the daily. I would say that that's not a relevant target, nor is it a relevant analysis as long as you're below about $2. Above $2, yeah, I do think that this one, I wouldn't necessarily say it tests like $3 after that, but $2.50 or so is where I'd be looking towards. Until then, you know, you have to be or at least I have to be looking at this as a lower high. We do have hidden bearish evidence populating right there as well. And target on something like that would be, upon confirmation below 152, would be back down towards that minimum, your 200 simple right here at about 140. And if things get really nasty, then back down towards your prior lows of about, basically 20 to 21st of December and in the low 130s or so. And by the way, I probably should have checked this on Bitcoin. Bitcoin probably has a little bit of hidden bearish evidence populating as well here. And it does, man. And this actually makes me really consider that Bitcoin probably does fail this region to come a little bit lower towards the 200 simple, which is just under $48,000. Again, what would confirm this as hidden bearish divergence? Well, we need to close below our current wick lows for this range, which is about 49,450. And in that case, yeah, I'd be looking at minimum price action back down towards about 47.8. Yeah, about minimum 47.8, perhaps even all the way back down towards your range lows if things get really nasty. And that's going to obviously destroy or potentially destroy the daily stochastic signal on CME, because if we do close on lower lows, then that is not something that we've ever seen in that signal's behavior before. So that would be rather concerning. But yeah, right now, I'm glad that I went back on over here to Bitcoin on CME, because that is, well, not a great signal if you do want to be bullish. Cool. Tyrion Lannister, nice, man. I loved you in the movies, but I don't see any comments from you, so fair enough. But thank you, man. Feel free to have a message, man. We got Nimai next. He just popped ahead and he says, "Good day. Hope you're well." Thanks, man. I hope you're well as well, sir. Sand USD, please, on the hourly and 4 hour. Do you think the major pullback from the all-time high is done? I wouldn't be judging a major pullback on an hourly or 4 hour, but let's go see. Do I think that the major pullback is done? Well, we're on a daily right now. You know, if this one loses like 560, I would be looking all the way back for the fucking round trip towards 510 to 515, to be honest with you. Is this the pullback right here? Is this all that you can muster up, fucking Saruman? Don't know about that, man, but this actually does have a decent setup right here. If I am on a 4 hour and I'm playing the 4 hour as the fucking 4 hour, this one is actually okay. I do treat this as a higher low right here, and I do treat this as decent, I guess. And you could use, in this case, probably about 575 as a range resolution point. I would not be aggressive with a higher projection of that at about 590. I'd actually use 575 on a 4 hour closure. Below there, I would call this one resolved, and you do see this one play back down towards your $5 lows. Until then, I actually do treat this one as a higher low, anywhere where you're at, anywhere between where you're at right now here at about 620, between there and about 590 or so. And you do see that volatility is very much contracted into this, which would be a higher low upon confirmation, which we'll talk about in a second. And you do see that there would be hidden bullish evidence potential here as well if it does confirm a local low. How would you confirm a local low in this one? Well, this is where things get a little bit more nasty, but back above 644 would do it for me on a 4 hour closure. And then yes, I would call this a local low. You'd have hidden bullish evidence. You have another higher low, and hopefully you start to see volatility expand from there, which is kind of already doing it. So that would be a good signal. And then I would be saying basically the same thing as you, in the sense that you do have your lows in, and you probably do trade back up towards your prior highs on a wick basis in the shallow $8 regions. Probably get ready for a more long-term continuation. But for right now, man, you're still just playing range to range. There's really nothing that's changed here. So I would be I want to be very, very hard line about that 575 region. Even on a 4 hour closure below there, I do look for this one to correct heavily, probably down to your low $5 regions at minimum. And if things get really nasty, like I said, all the way down to like 440 to 450 or so. So do be aware of that, because this one is, I mean, you know, you should be looking for pullbacks from a region like this, to be fair. Weekly actually looks good, so that would be a little bit more on the bullish side, obviously. And then the monthly coming into the end of this month is also good for January. So you know what? I am more inclined to say that this one probably does hold up here and does push on through over the next month or so. The question is, do we come back down to the range lows or not? That's basically where I'm at on something like that. So hopefully that was helpful, man. Let's see. I think we got Mr. Stock Series. He's back at it. One mass, bro. One mass, bro. Uno Mass, I think it is. Link versus Ethereum. I grew up in California, so I know some Spanish, I think some Mexican. Anyways, Link versus Ethereum here, and you're looking at daily, weekly, longer term. The review. I will review this coin now. Sorry, it's funny that you use that terminology because the review terminology is always used on like these fucking scam emails that I get from these damn like marketers. I gotta show these emails at some point, but I need to figure out a way to do it so that I don't get into legal trouble because like it's probably confidential in some case. Like all these damn projects, all these damn bullshit projects, honestly, they always say, what will it cost for a review of coin? It's like, please send us rates for review. It's like, what the fuck? $50 billion. Not a cent less, man. And it's going to be 1 minute long, too. Anyways, looking at this right here, longer term review on Link Ethereum. Okay, so I guess the real question is this thing looking like anything that is resembling a low for right now? Not really. Maybe a 5-day will be a little more forgiving. Still not really. But we don't have hidden bearish evidence, so that's a good thing right there. Daily. It's kind of the same thing as as the ones before. If I was going to chart this one on a daily, where's your prior range highs? Literally right fucking there. It did get stifled by the green 55 right there as well. So, have to kind of be looking for a pullback first towards just below 5,400 or so. However, I guess I do treat it as okay as long as you're above that region. Where does this one start to fall apart and imply moves back down towards your current lows? That would be below about 5,200, which would imply moves back down to about 4,650 to 4,600 base or so. Should look quite nasty. And for right now, you are going to have potential hidden bearish evidence going all the way back towards your highs from, October, which we're way the fuck back on over here. So the question to me is not where this one continues towards. Where does it top out? Because I mean, anything even up to, even if you even extended this run above the current range highs and traded another 22% move to the upside at like 6,800, you're still in lower fucking highs and you're still going to have hidden bearish divergence, and it's just going to mean that the downside target's not be as much. So it just kind of depends where you confirm something like that at. Short term, if you confirm it below about 55.50, I do look for this one to trade back down at minimum towards just under 5,400. And then if you do lose about, not that exact level right there, but basically this wick low right here at 5,250, then send this one back down to the prior lows. Until then, I have to give it a chance within this region right here, but I imagine it's probably going to matter what the general market, where the general market moves on something like this, rather than this one on its own volition. I'd say the two somewhat good things are that your 5-day and weekly don't have hidden bearish evidence present, or at least possible yet. But, these things could easily trade back up towards 7,000 Satoshis. And as we just spoke about, it wouldn't do shit for the, for the long-term look of this one. Kind of an ugly chart right here, especially long-term, as long as you're below like 12,500. I mean, that is just, not great, man. Not great. Oh, how the mighty have fallen on this one. All right, sweet, or maybe not so sweet, depending upon your disposition on that one. I'm actually rooting for Link, man. I'm actually rooting for Link. Just I don't know. It seems like a fun project. Like fun is good. Anyways, Stevie K says, greeting from Australia, Sir Krown. Hey, what's up, man? Could we look at UOS Ultra 4-hour and daily? Sure. We looked at this one a couple times, maybe not last week, but the week prior. Let's see where it's at now. I completely forget. Actually, pretty good. Pretty damn good right there. Test of your range highs. What do you fucking know? What do you expect after a test of your range highs? Probably pulls back. But is that a death sentence? Well, let's go down to a 4-hour and see kind of where we're at, and then come up with a bit of ranges on this one. Actually, look at this one is okay as long as you're above about 160 on the short. Sorry, that's a 3-hour. Let's go to a 4-hour. 4 hours actually testing the 55 right now. Do we have hidden bullish evidence potential? Yes, we do actually. Between this point and this point, that would actually be quite good. Volatility very, 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 very low right here as well. So what would start to destroy this one as a potential good setup for the short term? Let me just see if this equates with the daily levels. Yeah, I would say about 158 in this case is kind of where I start to look at this one as another I wouldn't say it's like a failure, but just a range high test, rebound, and very likely comes back down towards your prior range lows of like 140 to 145 or so. If you do lose that level until then, technically speaking, this is a higher low in the making, I do suspect, but I'm just. A lot of these things don't necessarily seem like they're ready just yet. If we go over here to a weekly, this thing could very easily test down to like 155, and it doesn't do really anything. It'd still be long-term good. 5-day, same shit, a little bit higher than that, like 155 or so. So if we go back on over here, do we get a wick down there, then close back above or just anywhere above 165? That's fine. 4 hours says, well, hopefully you hold right here. Otherwise, This one is actually quite different on higher term timeframes than your lower term timeframes, and I don't like that when I'm trying to match things up. You know, at the end of the day, to the upside, it's the same thing as before. Above 185, this thing looks like very, very good with the next sort of targeted region about 210 to 215. And then probably does push its way back on towards prior highs at 250, and you know, sets it up for a pretty damn good early 2022. Speaking of that, let's see what the monthly looks like. Again, this is a really, really good monthly, man. Really fucking good monthly, but not necessarily for this month, but for coming into maybe like end of January, early February in this case. So, you know, can this one spend a lot more time going sideways in this region? Definitely, especially if you lose that like 160 level on a daily, then probably looking at something like this, you know, a little bit like that would look really, really good long term. The only way that I get bearish on this one and like look for this one to shatter back down towards, you know, $1 is if you do start to take out about 1.25 right there. So are you okay right there? Horrible experience with this live stream. Horrible experience. Like, what do you want a refund on the cost of zero for this? I don't know. It's like, fuck you, Santa. You didn't give me what I wanted. It's like, what do you want? What do you fucking want? Fiona Moneyhound. It's right in the name. It's right in the fucking name. I want to speak with the manager here. What the fuck? I'm actually curious. What is her grievance? What do you want? If I could just so bluntly ask. I want a refund now. Okay. Sure. Yeah, send it to our lovely support girls. Just seeing if she like left a comment or something. No, all right, well, fair enough. Yeah, I guess we just. It appears that we have met a crazy person on the internet. So, I've been running into a lot of those people recently. Which, fair enough, man. It's the internet. You know, I've resolved in my life that it is a statistical inevitability that when a community gets this large, you just have to appreciate the good ones, because it's inevitable that there will be some interesting people out there. No doubt about that. All right, cool. We got P2E next. He says, will more people sell their Bitcoin to pay their tax, or will more people be able to spend money after New Year? Well, I haven't asked everyone in the world just yet, but in my case, I'll be able to add 20% to my portfolio with new tax year starting. Okay, I understand where you're getting at with this. So I always want to kind of pull back on a question like this, because there's no way to know what people are actually doing. But what are people incentivized to do? People are incentivized to do what's called tax harvesting. So, you know, maybe offsetting a few losses around the end of the year so that they can bring down their tax burden. But they've already likely done that, which it sounds like you have as well. Usually you do that in the first couple weeks of December, you know, basically before before Christmas time of the years when you typically do that. That is a traditional area. And then what does it allow you to do? Well, coming into the early next year, in this case 2022, then theoretically, yeah, you have some new money to deploy, and you kind of start off with a fresh balance sheet, and all is well and good from that perspective. And you put back on your positions is the presumption. And yes, that typically is what happens, especially in long-term upside markets. And also particularly in this market with Bitcoin, we do see that a lot of major hedge funds have been sort of positioning and posturing to kind of get into this market, but they can't do it in the same way that you or I do it. They do it in a lot more of a slow manner. So what do I mean by that, or what does it essentially look like long term? Well, when you're a big fund, when you're a big money manager or a big company looking to put some of your balance sheet into Bitcoin, for example, you can't just do that immediately. You have to first start it off in like a fucking conference call at the end of like one of your earnings seasons. So that's, you know, going to at least take a quarter, and then it probably takes like at least 6 months, you know, to take action. They just move very, very slowly. So a lot of them have been setting up over the past year here, especially with now an ETF, of course, and just the market getting more acceptance worldwide, and probably a spot ETF coming in 22. And so they're very likely going to deploy that capital, if they're going to deploy it at all, in early Q1 of 2022. One, because of the tax harvesting reasons, and then two, because of that is when they kind of can like free up to actually make moves, and they operate on a quarterly basis, and I mean maybe even a little bit longer than that. But yeah, if I think that's essentially what you're saying. It's a bit of a nuanced interpretation, but yeah, you are essentially right. You know, just think about it this way. Look, where are the incentives? Where are the incentives? You know what I mean? That is typically what you can be relying on, because human psychology and human behavior is typically incentivized more often than not. We got Mr. Triple Three. Can you surprise us with a chest hair stream one random day? You want to see this? Dude, I am a fucking rug, man. You don't want to see this, and I don't want to get banned from the YouTubes. I should lower the thing. Do you want? Should I? What did you say? What the fuck did you say? Nikki. Oh, okay. Oh dear Lord. Oh my God, Nikki Page just laying it down. She's already dead. You don't need to kill her more. New 333 says Matic USD 4 on daily plots. Indeed, some internet speak over here. Yeah, we can look at some Matic. Okay, we're getting our first pullback after new all-time highs, basically. Hey, we hit our $3 target. Not bad. Hey, not fucking bad, huh? Not fucking bad right there. Here we have Polygon symbol MATIC versus the dollar. This one's been a very fun one to follow up on, basically going back to especially early November on this one. Been in a very long-term accumulation phase, of which we did resolve in early December right here, and that initiated our targets back up towards the prior all-time highs, and also one of those fib targets over there at about $3. That target has been hidden the last day since we last spoke, which is great. And now where do the pullback targets essentially come on something like this? Well, if you are bullish and looking on the short-term time frame, which I guess is still relevant right here, you actually do have an okay setup as I almost said Bitcoin, but Matic is still operating on higher lows above 250, and I do look at that as a big area, the same relevant region that we had coming in from yesterday. I'd actually move it up just ever so slightly, but let's say 255 in this case. As long as you're above there, I do treat this as a higher low, and I guess the lower term timeframes are okay. We do see that volatility is contracting into this higher low, and we do see that there will be potential hidden bullish divergence if a higher low does confirm. How would you confirm a higher low right here? Closing back above at minimum about 278 would do it for me. And then yes, I would be looking for another march towards $3, and then very likely new highs on this rally towards the next relevant target, which is about three and a quarter to 330 or so, at which point I would be looking for the next more prolonged consolidation. Here's the thing though, you did test your prior all-time highs on this one, as well as hit some pretty major fib targets as well. So if this one does correct back down below 255 or 2, let's call it 250 in this case, on a 4-hour closure, I would look for this one to come down significantly after that and try for some higher lows, somewhere more around about 220 to 2 and a quarter or so. And that would probably be the next major area that I'm looking for. Until then, I do think that the lower term timeframes are relevant here. It's obviously one of the most strong names in this market. All higher term timeframes are still bullish and very likely looking for new all-time highs in early to middle of January. I mean, I'm just not going to be bearish on a monthly that looks like this, nor am I going to be on a weekly, nor am I going to be on a 5-day like this. These are all very, very good. The question is, where does the next higher low very likely come in? And for right now, if you're on the lower term timeframes, kind of have to treat this one as a higher low for what it's worth right now. Again, confirmation back above about 278, and that would imply moves back up towards your $3 highs. Very likely new all-time highs after that towards 3 and a quarter to towards maybe even 330, and then I'd be looking for the big consolidation and consolidation lower. So hopefully that was helpful, and there you go for Matic, sir. Still one of the most strong ones, man. It's very impressive chart, man. Very impressive chart right there. Cool. All right, so let's see. Where did I leave off over here? We have Mr. Benjamin Sherman next. It says Vader daily, please. Yeah. Okay. We looked at this one yesterday, right? Yeah. Okay. Still pretty damn good. Not a whole hell of a lot of history here, to be fair. If you're on a daily, really not going to populate too much on this chart, but closing on new highs is never going to be a bad thing. Let's see, can this one even populate momentum oscillators? Not really, no. So that's not very helpful. 4 hour, do we see anything of particular interest right here? It is starting to look a lot more toppy on the short-term timeframes, but again, that's not relevant towards you if you're on a daily, obviously, but here's the problem. I don't think that a daily can really be used on something like this. It's a little bit too new. So I would be willing to call a major high here relevant towards the history of this asset below about 174,000 butyrols, whatever the fuck that number is, with targets back down towards, 136 to 140,000 butyrols. Until then, it kind of still be bullish right here, but we are seeing many drives of bearish divergence starting to formulate. We got 1, 2, 3, and we do see that volatility is, relatively high right here. Again, it's a little bit too new to do a lot for, but those would be the major areas that I'm looking for. Until then, I mean, anything above there is just another higher low, and I should be looking towards, I guess, targets towards 300,000 butyrols in this case. But I do think that you're getting a lot more close to a high on this 4-hour time frame than not. I just would not feel comfortable looking at it daily. Yet, yeah. But for what it's worth, I mean, it's good. It's obviously fucking good. It's just, well, if I look at a 12-hour on a daily, I mean, it's still pretty good here. probably should be looking for a higher low first. So yeah, I guess I wouldn't call a major pullback yet until you actually do lose that last spike low from, I'm guessing this is yesterday, and it is yesterday, so 175 or so. Below there, I start to call some highs and look for, you know, consolidations much lower first before any sort of tries higher. Until then, I guess I'm still bullish on this, but man, it's really splitting hairs here on something that's a little bit too new, in my opinion, to do much with. So I always want to be very open with something like that because I just don't feel as confident with it. Reach says, if Bitcoin goes to $46,000 to $47,000 in the short term, do you believe there are enough indicators for a macro uptrend to continue? As you indicated, CME breaking. Does that shatter your confidence in an uptrend? Okay, so let's make sure that we're on the same page here. The way to shatter the long-term bullish narrative of this, with essentially this area right here, putting in your next, I guess, macro low, or your next major weekly higher low. Hey, where did my I see what's going on, is you need to see a closure below the range lows. In this case, that's going to be 45,500 actually on spot price action. If you're on CME, it's like $46,000. Yeah, about $46,000 right there. So let's make sure that we're using the right numbers. $47,000 would actually not be super problematic, as that would still be another higher low on the daily. Basically, the assumption is that if Bitcoin has put in a major low right here, we do not expect lower closing lows. We expect higher lows. And if you do see the next higher low, then that plays into the daily stochastic momentum signature that we were looking at earlier, which is in a pullback area. So hopefully that was clear. But if you're on spot, again, it's 45.5. If you're on CME, it is about 46. Those would be the very concerning areas to be losing for the long-term macro case, with Bitcoin putting in your next major low right here. Even just coming back down to 47, it's just the backfill on last week open, which is not an issue at all. Here's the funny thing though, I forgot to mention this yesterday, but I thought that this was just like weird. It just kind of revealing it, and perhaps because maybe a lot of other people have been hearing this, as well, but a lot of people were calling last week's closure, this one right here, as a bullish engulfing. This is not a bullish engulfing dildo right here, and it's actually quite obvious in the way that you can tell yourself, and perhaps mark off anyone else as not knowing what the fuck they're talking about on a very simple concept. Sorry, I don't mean to like shoot barbs here. It's just, look, if you're going to fucking talk on the YouTubes or talk on the Twitters or whatever, at least get one of the most basic things fucking right. And it's this. Look, you can never, ever goddamn fucking ever to infinity, ever have a bullish engulfing, or a bearish engulfing for that matter, without trading below the low of the prior. And that is the wick fucking low, not the open. Obviously, anytime we'd ever have like a major green dildo, it would always be a bullish engulfing, which it is fucking not. It's fucking not. So this one, obviously the low of the prior week was 45,484, and last week's low was 45,580. So a $100 difference between the two. But yes, it does matter, and no, that is not a bullish engulfing. And if you do trade like that, it will end in tears most likely. This is an example of a bearish engulfing right here. You trade above the high of the prior and you close below the low. Bearish engulfing, just as fucking cut and dry as that. Here's a bullish engulfing right here. You trade below the low of the prior, you close above the high. Fucking clean and clear as day. Those are really good reversals on weeklies. So yeah. That's all that I have to say about that. All right, cool. Let's see. What did I leave off over here? Okay, we just spoke to Reach on his chatty. Okay, so I think we're down to Mr. Hey, Hot Dog. What's up, man? It's been a long time. Symbol ANET stock. Okay, ANET stock daily, weekly. All right. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's look at some stocks, man. Happy holidays to you as well, man. Merry Christmas. Whatever the fuck holiday you celebrate, it's all good, man. I'm not going to take offense to it if someone says Merry Christmas. Really good stock right here. What the fuck is it? I don't know. What does it do? Don't know. What is it? What matters? It goes up. Number go up, sir. Number go up indeed. Coming into the end of the year here, obviously closing on new highs like this on a monthly is going to be good. Yes, this is one massive parabolic rally, so it is a little bit concerning, obviously, for the long term. At some point, the chickens will come home to roost, and this thing probably corrects down like heavily towards $100 or so. But for now, still have to be bullish on something like this. At least in the way that I look at things. And I look at this one as in trending motion, as long as you're especially above about 139 on a daily closing basis. And it sounds like you are a little bit more on the higher term timeframes here. So yeah, I don't really have anything to add on to it other than that. I'm just looking generally up on something like this into early 2022. And my general views for the market in 2022 is that the first 3 months are probably going to be, decent with upside in general. This thing, apparently I have this level marked off over here. I don't know why, but it's actually relevant towards a 2-spot 618 extension, which would be about 190. So if I was just like spitting out numbers for the long term here, maybe around February, March, for where this one could potentially get to before finding this next major high, I'd be looking at two areas of interest between about 175 and 195 or so. Long term, and those are the points where that comes in around, especially like end of March. That would look pretty damn wouldn't look great for the long term. I mean, that's probably your next major long term high, but for right now, yeah, still with upside momentum. Just be aware of where the daily I wouldn't say invalidates, but just shows that it probably consolidates further south first before any sort of another trudge higher, and that is again below about 139. If that happens, probably looking down towards 120 to 130 or so. Hopefully that was helpful, man. I'm gonna take another sippy sip of this water, and here we go. Big Boy George says, Fear and Greed Index is saying, "Brr, it's pegging time." What that mean? What does that mean? I don't know. Like pegging, like the like a sexual innuendo. Anyways, I think we have, okay, yeah, we got all those ones. I think it's time for Mr. Kyle McDonald's. He says, "Hey, my man, what's up, man? Hive USD on the 4-hour and daily." Sure. Let me just get it over here. Okay, Hive, US DERP. What is this thingy? What do you know? Tested the range highs, sold off on the range highs. Craziness, fucking craziness. I still wouldn't call it like likely to test back down towards your range lows. In this case, somewhere around about 140 to 150 or so, until you actually do crack back down and hold below about 161.5. For right now, it still holds the higher lows. Obviously, on the 4-hour, you would have hidden bullish evidence if you do pop back up and actually confirm a local low here, but that won't be had with any until you do close back up about 180 in this case, 180. Until then. Until then, I guess, you do look at it as a, in a position of power. But again, I think that a lot of these charts are going sideways at best for a while. Not that they're bad, just they're going to take some time. What's up? Why do you have my beard hair in your mouth? I don't know. You tell me. See what Bitcoin's doing over here. Bitcoin, what are you doing? Please respond. Let me, I actually need to make a few changes on my own positions over here. Maybe take a little bit of profit olas. Let's see. Okay, we're good right there. How much more do I have? Okay, 550. All right, 250 we need. Less. Okay, there we go. And there we go as well. All right. Just need to take care of that really, really quickly. Hey, what's up, Stocks Heroes? I want to thank you sincerely, my friend. I've learned more from your stream over the past couple years than I would have. Man, that's super awesome. Again, man, I'm really humbled by something like that. That's super fucking cool. I'm humbled, and I don't know what to say is what I should say. Look, man, that's fucking awesome. I don't have anything else to add, man. I don't have anything great to say, but I do really appreciate those sentiments, man. And again, I always want to be pushing it back on you as well, man, because look, like if you're getting something from these streams, like I'm not over here like Professor fucking Krown. I'm just giving my opinion on this market for better or worse. And whatever you're doing with that, you are doing it on your own accord. And that means that, well, you probably deserve that credit, obviously. So I always want to be pushing that back, man. But I really do appreciate that, man. That's very kind of you. And thank you, man. Let's see. I think we got James Hall next. He says Luna 1-4 and daily. Okay. Let's plot this one up over here. I haven't looked at this one today just yet. And let's see, maybe start off with a daily. We hit our $100 target. Okay. Pull back from there. Yes. And I think that we did say pullback yesterday was likely down to 80 to 90. And we did, we're actually at 90 right now. We got down to about 86. Yeah, so right smack dab in the middle there. Is this one more likely to pull back from here or not? Do we have bearish divergence possible? Yes, we will. Hold on, 74.55 versus 75.08. Yeah, we do have bearish divergence possible here. Going into lower term time frames like a 4-hour, it's still technically on higher lows, right? But where does that get destroyed? Below about 80. Hey, what the fuck? Oh, wait, no, hold on. The 4-hour and the daily are showing different price action here. Anyways, regardless of that, I mean, it's still the same chart anyways. 4-hour closure below about 87. In this case, I would be looking at this as your next sort of short-term, medium-term top with targets back down towards low $70 region. Until then, you know, long-term is still very good. It's just, you know, you hit your $105 target right here at the 2-spot extension. You know, it's likely to correct after something like that, but we also need to be looking at the higher term timeframes like the weekly. Still very good right here, obviously, as is the monthly coming into the end of this year actually. So all of this is really, really good. It's just, you know, do we pull back a little bit further south? If you do lose about 87, even on a 4-hour closure, maybe even below about 89. Maybe might even be wise to be more aggressive than that, below 89 on a 4-hour closure, then yeah, I do look for this one to come back down somewhere around at minimum 80 for the next bouncy bounce, and then probably a little bit further south than that towards like the low $70 region on the daily. Again, I do want to reiterate my stance over here. I do like all higher term timeframes. $80 should be a nice bounce, however, and that'll actually be quite telling. But yeah, maybe I'm getting a little bit too aggressive with calling $70, or sorry, $72 in this case. Should be looking at $80 first as a nice bouncy area. Below $80, that's where I probably wouldn't even be looking for $72. I'd be looking for like $65 to $67 or so. Hopefully that was helpful, man. Let's see, where are we at right now? Let's see. All right, we might need to close the super chats soon because I do see that we still have like quite a few of them. All right, let me just see over here. Bitcoin, what you doing? I actually need to go down to a lower term time frame for this and see what do we got going on right here. Yeah, probably want to let that go. A little bit of a scalpy scalp. Anyways, what? Yeah, you can close them very soon here. I think they're building up a little bit too many. Let's see. We got ding, 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 ding next. Says Krown, thank you for the hard work, man. It's all good, dude. Near USD, I think we already did that one, so all good there. You're more of a long kind of guy. All good, man. But can you give a maybe I'll have to think about that one, man. But yeah, near, I'm pretty sure we already did near. Yeah, just post it and I'll pin it right there. Let me just pull it up right here. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have to close them super chats right now. I'm pretty sure we did near USD. Let me just double check over here, and if it looks familiar, we're probably good on that one. Yeah, looking for a bit of a pullback down, like $13 or so. Again, still long-term, very, very good. Just you're getting your first pullback after a weekly breakout. Can come all the way down to like $12.35 to $12.50. Still long-term good as long as you're above there, however. Cool. All right, Mr. T, does Elliot make you wear slicked back hair? Make it for his video today. That is my after sauna look, sir. Ethereum, Bitcoin, sure. Let's see. Let's pull it up over here. Yeah, this one's really starting to scare me, honestly. Still, though, I still look at 7.8 million Satoshis as the big bad area to be aware of, and it does look like it very likely will test somewhere around there. Technically speaking, still on higher lows, but you know the chart really hasn't changed right here. Where's the next area of interest to the upside to be aware of? That's going to be, of course, above this little rejective high, 8.12 million Satoshis. Above there, I do look for this one to probably retest around 8.5 million Satoshi prior highs, and this starts to look, you know, pretty damn good. And I mean, you know, still long term, this one does look good right here, but I just want to be very, very deliberately clear about this 7.8 million Satoshi region. Below there, especially on a daily closure, this thing very likely does put in one massive swing failure. With this macro breakout right here and trade next down to like 7.3 million Satoshis. Until then, you know, should be looking for higher lows within this region. Just, I guess, hold your breath for the current moment. So hopefully that's helpful, man. And there you go, sir. Nice one. All right. Let's see. Kryptonian says, can you check out Spell? Just check it out. No time frames given. What the fuck do I do with this one, man? What the fuck do I do with this one? I guess we go over here, and pretty good here. I think we looked at this one yesterday and we said, okay, what did we say on this one? Yeah, it did close above that prior rejective high. So I still like this one, man. I'm bullish on this one as long as you're above 2.2 cent on a daily closing basis. It's a little bit too new of a chart to be looking at on a daily. Let's go maybe down to a 4 hour right here. Again, I'm basically bullish on this one as long as you're closing above about 2.5, let's say 2.15 cent. 2.15 cent. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, so hopefully that was helpful. Hold on, you go back to Bitcoin over here. All right, Bitcoin, what are you doing on this one? Are you gonna bust on through, or are you gonna? Yeah, this is one of those weird ones. Let's go to a 30-minute maybe. Let's see. What about momentum on a setup like this? Let's see. Turn it up on the hourly. 30-minute is probably already up as well. Buy hourly, where we at? Turns up above 50,340, or sorry, 350. So actually not bad right there. Yeah, still hard to hold something like that for the time being. Probably get a few more chances anyways. All right, cool. Yeah, man, of course we have a sauna. We live in Finland. Pretty much everyone has a sauna here. It's actually pretty damn common. Hey, what's up, Matt Rutledge? I hope you had a Merry Christmas as well, man. Best wishes to you, sir. Vince says Sand USD. Did we already look at this one or not? Sand US derp over here. I don't think we did. Maybe we did. Yeah, Tesla range highs comes back down. Yeah, we already kind of looked at this one. I would be looking at problems below about 575 with targets back down towards $5. After that, if that's to be met. Until then, technically speaking, you're on higher lows here, but you know, whatever Bitcoin does, everything else is going to follow. So you got to be going back to Bitcoin over here. It's like Bitcoin has the same setup, right? You're still on higher lows, still got 48,500 or so. But man, it really has to recover sooner rather than later today, actually, and confirm this is a higher low. CME has actually even closed below the 55 right there. Curious where that does bring things. So how would I confirm a local low on CME? In this case, need to see a closure back above 49,900, basically the high of this delta right there, and that'd probably do it for me. You would also confirm hidden bullish divergence, but still that volatility signature, not picture perfect for sure. Spot price action actually a little bit better in that case. Anyways, Mr. Brian Donali says ANKR. This is a 2017 shitcoin, if I recall. Is that right? ANKR, okay. Short and medium time frame. All right. I don't know what the fuck that means to you, but let's see. Is this one that I'm thinking of? Yeah, it is a 2017 shitcoin. Goes all the way back here. But we only have information towards 2019. I do think it's relevant to be looking at this one on the long term, to be quite honest with you, just because long term, I mean, you do have one massive accumulation going on right here. That could still come back down with a test back down to like 10 cents or so. But I'm actually long term looking at this as one macro base and one macro accumulation as long as above about, sorry, it's not, did I say $1? I meant 10 cents. 10 cents on a daily closure. So short term, do you sell off on your range highs and test back down around there? Definitely possible. Let's see what the 4 hour looks like. 4 hours still on higher lows right here too, to be fair. So it's like I can't really get too bearish just yet. Closing below about 10.7 cents would do it for me, and I would be looking for moves back down towards your 10-cent base. Until then, have to kind of treat this as a higher low first here, but probably can't get too excited about this one just as before, as long as you're below about 12.33. Above there, I do look for this one to reclaim your prior highs of actually, I'm guessing your all-time highs in this case. Yeah, pretty much. Back up to towards like 16, 17 cents or so. But again, that's not necessarily relevant towards you because you're more long-term, and you do have hidden bearish divergence popular on a daily right here. So if you do confirm that with basically a closure below about 10.7 or so, I would be looking for another run at your your current base, but still I'd actually be looking at that as an opportunity, to be honest with you. Cool.
Sir,
what?
did you do FD Lux and CRV?
No. Where is that one?
In the middle.
Why are you calling that one out of everyone else's?
Because it was more than what you did.
No. FT Lux? FT, no, I think we already did CRV. Okay, you are right, it is more, but I think we already did it. Maybe I did skip over this one. In that case, my apologies. CRV, if we didn't already do it, I still like it. Short term, where's your current range lows? Basically at around 490. Below there, I do look for this one to correct back down to like 440 or so. So long term, I still really like this chart, obviously. I'm just looking for higher lows on this one, whether that comes at like 440 or $4.50 or where you're exactly at right now. Is I don't know if that's relevant to you or not, but if you're on the daily and weekly, probably not too relevant to you. Again, I look at this one as long-term bullish, basically as long as you're above 440 on a daily closing base, and you're getting another correction after selling off your top side range highs, which is fine, man. Long-term on a weekly, I am still massively bullish on this one as long as you're especially above like $4, and I'm looking for this one to very likely trade up towards your next relevant targets into early 2022. Still looking at a break above about 630. Yeah, break above about 630 or so, and I'm looking for this one to move its way into the $9 to $10 region. After that, until then, it's generally good. I just don't know if the lower term timeframes are relevant for you or not. If they are, 490 is kind of an area that I'd be watching. If that does get taken out, I would be looking for next higher low somewhere around 440 to 450 or so. Hopefully that was helpful, sir. All right, nice. Let me pick up where I left off there. Okay, we got Algorand already. We got that one. I think it is time for Mr. Matt Rutledge. He says, Shaman King, please, daily, weekly. I don't know the ticker for this. So I'm just going to type it in, and Shaman King Inu. So fucking, oh fucking joy. It only goes down, man. What the hell? Yeah, you already know what I'm going to say about a chart like this. It's not great. I'm curious, what did the other one show? Shaman Inu? What the fuck is this thing? Shaman King Inu. Oh, this is Ethereum versus Shaman. So yeah, just pretty damn bad. Here's the real chart representing Shaman. Actually, hold on. This is bizarre. Those two charts are massively different than each other. If I'm looking at this chart, it's actually quite good. Yeah, I do think that it pulls back a little bit, somewhere around, what is this fucking exorbitant number right there? Look, somewhere around here. Somewhere around here, and tries for a higher low. Long term, this is obviously setting in a long-term accumulation range between this and this. I don't know if this is the right chart, however. So again, forgive me if I'm uncertain on that one. Below whatever the hell this number is right here, I do look for this one to correct heavily down to the 200 simple. But until then, long term this is good. Just want to just probably look for this one to consolidate for another, I don't know, a few weeks at minimum. Probably more like oh, this is an hourly. Jesus Christ, man, this thing's way too new. Look, I don't have a good opinion on something like this, man. Way too fucking new. This is an hourly right here. Let me take another sippy sip of this. Yes, that was Shaman King. There we go. Leo YouTube says, Ola Krown, what's up, man? Options testnet update. I haven't been trading in a while, man. I've had my hands full with my own thingies. Last time you showed it was 28. No, it was 30 and 36, and we got up to 36. Is this not bad, especially by an ex-professional options trader? Sir, I'm not focusing on a fucking account that is not real money. Like, what are you going off of, man? Look, if I have to triage my time, which is limited, I'm gonna put it first towards like my actual money accounts, not my testnet accounts, which I've already built up from like 13 Bitcoin to 36 at one point, and then yeah, it definitely lost some Bitcoin there, but I'm just letting shit expire, man. Like I really don't. To be honest with you, I don't care about it because, like, obvious reasons. That's more of like a social clout type of thing, which is cool, but that doesn't actually make you money. So yeah. Anyways, let's see. Okay, what did we leave off? ESO David says, vet on the daily, is a breakout happening? I don't know, probably not if most things are pulling back. Let's see. It's like that's such like a bizarre and like rude way to pose a question too. Anyways, whatever. No, I don't think that it's breaking out right here. In fact, it's nowhere near a breakout. Your breakout level is right here, and you can also. Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm on a fucking hourly again. Dear Lord, is it breaking out? Hold on. It depends kind of what time frame you're talking about. If you're talking about a breakout, no, this is not a breakout. This would just be a higher low. Where's your breakout on the daily? It's going to be back up about 7.4 cents in this case. Below 10.5 cents, I do look for this one to come back down significantly towards 12 cents or so. Hey, what the fuck? Oh, I'm inverted again. God damn it. My apologies, man. I thought that one looked weird for a second there. All right. Okay, so sold off on your range highs. Yes, you're pulling back from there. 10.5 is like pulling back from 10.5 cents to 12 cents. That sounded weird. Anyways, let's see. 10.5 cents right there. Pulling back from a range high test like that. I mean, again, that's kind of likely in this case. The hopium is that you're going to hold this as your range lows at 9 cents. Is it breaking out though? No, it is not breaking out. Your breakout level is above 10.5 cents. At that point, I would be looking for your moves towards 12 cents to 13 cents or so. Until then, you're kind of at a big area right here. The hopium is that short-term time frames are setting in higher lows above 9 cents. I guess it's still available for you right now, obviously, but the second that you start to close even 4 deltas below there, this is going to be confirmed as not just a short-term time frame high and also a daily high. So I'd be looking for moves back down towards 8 cents or so, maybe even lower down towards 7.5 cents, somewhere around there. Again, you'd probably see the rest of the market do the same thing as well, but no, I would not consider this a breakout. Breakout is above 10.5 cents on a daily. Or if you're using, or if you're using this range high over here, that'd still be 10 cents, which you did not close above yesterday. Which one is more relevant? You could probably be more aggressive with this one right here at 10 cents even, but that is specific for a daily closure. So hopefully that was helpful, man. Let's see. Okay, we got that. TRDG says, yo, check me out, bro. TRDG loves you, Krown. Okay, what is this? I don't know what this is. Tadrijo grades. Oh, fuck! I'm loved by Coin that's dead. Sir, what the fuck? Hey, what the fuck happened here, man? The love was too much that it completely died. Well, I guess it's the thought that counts. And you know what? I appreciate that, man. But man, I'm concerned about whatever project you are representing, if this is the proper chart for it. Hopefully that is not. Hopefully that is just a misunderstanding right there. Let's see. Ding Ding wants to go to Siacoin instead. Oh. Yeah, he wants to go to Siacoin. I see. All right, Siacoin. Man, okay, you're going like deep into the fucking shitcoin drawer from 2017, aren't you? Hey, it actually got above its 2017 highs. I take that back. Still not great, but at least I take that back. I don't know what time frames you're on over here, but again, another test of your range highs. So where's your range highs? Right here. I actually didn't even really test there, but started kind of selling off from the 200 simple. Do you have potential hidden bearish divergence? You do, actually. Holy shit, you do. Going all the way back on over here. Jesus Christ, man. Technically not confirmed just yet. If you're on a 4 hour, could you probably front run something like this? Yeah, you could, below about 1.59 cent on a 4 hour closure. At that point, I'm looking for another retest around your lows at like 1.5 cent or so. Long term, can't get too super excited about this one, putting in a major low right here, as long as you're below about 1.88 cent. In this case, could you be more aggressive with this area right here at like 1.83? Maybe yes, but fair enough. Fair enough, sir. Crypto King says LRC, please. What time frames, man? What time frames? Let's see. No more yeah, man. We can't do any more super chats, man. We do have to be aware of the time here, so I do apologize about that. He's just asking. I think that's what he was asking. LRC, same shit as before. I think this one's at best going sideways for a while. It's a little bit on the weaker side compared to some of the other things. It has put in a slew of lower highs here as well. Not great. Confirmation on a descending triangle breakout would be below about $2 on a daily closure, with targets back down towards very likely your 4th of December lows, or around there, somewhere around like 160-ish to 170-ish region. Until then, not the strongest here, and I would not be getting excited about anything looking like this at minimum, as long as you're below about 240. But realistically, if you want to play this one conservatively, you'd be looking at this area right here at about 275. Sorry, 280 actually. A little bit more nasty. Yeah, I think at best this one's going sideways for a while. That's kind of the hopium here, that you do something like this and then maybe bounce back up above your range highs. The doomium is that you probably do another bounce from there, and then something like that. Nasty, man. Hopefully that was helpful though. Cool. Keys Grafland says, hey again, what's up, man? To answer your questions, Keys Grafland is Dutch. Oh, sweet. And it's pronounced like case. Oh, man, that one would throw me for a loop. Holy shit. Can you do LTO on the hourly again for me? Sure, man. Symbol LTO over here. On your set on the hourly. Actually, hey man, this one is very interesting to me. The reason why it's interesting, because it's actually doing something very much different than most of this market right now. It's a daily breakout above your range highs right there. Hourly, same shit as well. Very good. Very, very good. Yeah, man. I'm actually looking for this. This one's a breakout on an hourly right here. I'm probably looking for this one to trade back up towards your 8th of December highs, like 46, 47 cent or so. Yeah, it looks good. Invalidation obviously below about 41.5 cent, but yeah, this is actually kind of a breakout right here on volume too. Good. Sweet. All right, let's see. Mr. Nimbo is here. What's up, Mr. Nimbo? Ethereum USD. Okay, we can look at Ethereum. Actually, this one's should probably record this one too. Ethereum USD continues to fail at the 4130-ish region. All right, let's pull this one up. All right, let's do this nice and simple. Here we have Ethereum versus the dollar, and what do you fucking know? The 4130 area once again rejects. Now, yesterday I was looking for this one to probably take it up, probably close above that 4130-ish region, but this is why I do wait for confirmations on a range resolution like this, because it does essentially save you from longing into resistance, which, obviously would have been a lot more profitable to shorten this resistance, but this is why, if you are going to be a breakout trader or looking at range resolutions, you do need to be, or at least I would argue it's better, it's more poignant to be waiting for range resolutions on a closing basis. And in this case, you never got a closure above 4130-ish region, just another rejection right there. And well, where does this one come down to, and try for maybe a higher low after that, as we do see that volatility contracted into that, yet again, another lower, fuck man, that is not good looking, into another lower high right around the 55. It does have a silver death cross, and we do see that daily RSI is very likely going to test at least around the bearish control zone again. I would be looking for another move, a little bit more of an extension, maybe down around about mid to low 3800s or so. And the hopium is that you do put another higher low somewhere right around there. That would look good. But still, to the upside, there's just nothing to get excited about here as long as you're below 4130. If you can close above that region on a daily closure, maybe could even use a 12 hour as well. Yeah, you could use a 12 hour. I suppose that would work in this case. I would still be looking at the same relevant targets. Short term would be about 4,500. Long term would be about basically 5,000 plus. But for right now, man, it's not very favorable towards that. I'm curious what it looks like from this angle over here, just to see. Like let's say that daily momentum starting to turn against it. That would look pretty. Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah, daily momentum is going to turn around this. Turn against this one. It hasn't even done it just yet. Below 4,000, which you are now trading about $100 below. 5-day. What do we see right here? That's still kind of corrective, so not super nasty. If we go over to the weekly, I would be expecting some sort of a base around the 21. Yeah, and is that going to be 3850 or 3800? It's actually a little bit below 3800 in this case. So I guess on a wick low, I'm probably looking somewhere right around there. But I still do like this area as a base. At least that's kind of the way that I have to treat it. But right now, can't be looking for any sort of a breakout. Obviously, that has been rejected too many times. So next move down, probably somewhere around 3800, give or take a few bucks from that number. The hopium is that you do put in, another quick wick like this and then bounce back up and put in a higher low, maybe even around a retest of this trend line right here for the falling pizza. Definitely possible, yes. I guess that's a hopium for right now, but just be aware that, man, Ethereum would have been the tell yesterday too, for most of this market. Very, very interesting right there. Yeah, again, powerful ranges. So hopefully that was helpful. And do we have anything else that's obvious right here? Yeah, I do not like that daily RSI, nor do I like the 2-day. Maybe even the 5-day as well. Jesus Christ, man. Again, hopium in the 5-day. Yeah. The hopium is that you do start to catch a bid somewhere in the just below 3,800 region or so. But where to get like very bearish on this one with targets down, I suppose, towards your 4th of December lows at 3,400 or so. That would be with a closure below your current wick lows on this range. So that's not really anytime soon, but below about 3680-ish region, that's where that starts to be a lot more relevant. Or you can maybe even say just 3,700 on this one. Again, hard to be bullish on this one as long as below 4130. So hopefully that's helpful. And there you go for Ethereum, sir. Cool. All right, we just got a few more left, I think, or Jesus Christ, a little bit more than a few more now. God damn. Let's see. Let me just scroll back up on over here. I think we have Mr. Tora Digital next. Says, please practice social distancing in the chat. I will be on ever so highly watch right now. That didn't make sense. Wear your damn mask. Yeah, I don't see no fucking masks over here. Wear those damn mask emojis, sirs and sirs. John Ray says, me again, my G, Mana daily 5-day. Okay, yeah, no one's asked about Mana yet. I imagine it's probably going mostly sideways. Let's see, let's go to the 5-day over here. Yeah, mostly sideways. Again, long term, probably fine, probably good, but I think at best you're going sideways for a while. Actually, I did mark this off as a range resolution to the upside. Did we test the next? Nah, not really. I said 4.25 yesterday, or sorry, 420 yesterday. We got up to 406. So yeah, that is not relevant right there. Anyways, if you're on a full hour, what are we looking like right here? Technically, still got a higher low at the 55. Is on low volatility and would have potential hidden bullish evidence, but needs to close back up about 375 in order to confirm that. And then I would still, I guess I would still be looking for 420 in this case. Problem is though, you're at like a major area on both the 12-hour daily and full hour right here. And that does imply that any sort of a closure below your current 4-hour low, which is also your range lows right here for the short term, which is like 345 or so. I would be looking for this one to come all the way back down towards your range lows, somewhere around about $3.20 to $3 even. Until then, I think that the hopium is still a little bit alive right there, but you're probably gonna have to see Bitcoin, move ahead of this one, obviously, as well. So hopefully that was helpful, sir. Let's see we got BK. We already did CRV. Nice. We have Mr. Golby Files. He says track USD on KCoin, weekly, daily. Okay, track USD, huh? Orange and trail. See what we got going on over here. Good on the 4-hour, but that's not what you're asking for. You're asking for the daily. Good on daily. This one's looking like it's going to resolve the range right here and initiate targets back up towards 180 to 185 or so. Weekly, same thing as well. Another higher low. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah. I'd actually be looking for this one to trade up over the next few days towards 180 to 190-ish region, somewhere around there, and then come back to it after that. Invalidation, obviously, going to be below your current 4-hour low at about $1.25, but, generally a decent chart right there among most corrective charts today. Actually, let me write this one down so I can just follow up on these thingies. Cool. Hey, what's up, Tokyo Channel? Oh my God, a member for 20 months. Holy shit, man. Another OG of the cave. Happy New Year's to you as well, man. And best wishes as well. Of course, man. It goes without saying. Goes without saying, man. Okay, where to leave off? I think we are at, where is it? Vishal, he says GTC USD. Okay. This is Gitcoin. Sounds like a redneck coin is what it sounds like. Long or short? What the fuck, man? Not even like a time frame given, just long or short. I don't have an answer for you, man. I can't be doing your trades for you. I don't even know what fucking time frame you're on. Obviously, a daily is going to have a much different answer than like a 15-minute, for example. I don't have an opinion for you. Do I think that it trades up from here? Probably yes, but probably going to matter on what the rest of the market does. And well, hold on. Speaking of the rest of the market, I just got filled. Nice, beautiful, cool. All right, let's see. I think we're at Richard Theusian next week. He says, greetings from sunny Cape Town. Nice, man. Good morning to you as well. I hope you're doing well as well, man. Can you please check out Theta on a 4N daily? Thank you for specifying your time frames, man. Theta USD right here. 4N daily. I guess we charted this one. I guess we must have charted this one yesterday. I guess I would be looking for a short-term bounce right here. I can't really be looking at this one as a failure just yet, as long as you're above about 490. Below 490, I do look for this one to go for the full round trip back down somewhere around about mid to low $4 regions. Until then, I guess I am looking for higher lows somewhere just below $5. Yeah, just below $5. Might even be right here. How would you confirm this as a higher low? It's not going to be happening anytime soon, actually. And still, the upside range resolution is very much the same as before. I mean, okay, so yeah, we resolved the range 3 days ago. We hit our next target up to the blue box territory right here. Okay, selling off from that region again is to be expected, and it is another lower high to be fair as well. And you do have hidden bearish evidence. Look, a lot more things are on the, a lot more things are suggestive of downside rather than upside for what it's worth. I really can't get like looking for like major continuation on this one as long as you're below about 6.25. Above there, I do look for this one to go on a mega run with next targets up just shy of $9, and probably long term this one puts in like, you know, a major long term base here. It's probably very, very good. Until then, you know, it does appear a little bit short term corrected, but I guess the hopium here is that you do hold above. Let's just call it $5. Nah, I wouldn't even use that. I'd actually go all the way down here. I'd be lenient with this just because it is an altcoin and these things can trade a little bit sloppily. But 490, below 490, I look for bid back corrections, you know, down to 4.25 or so. Until then, I guess I am looking for higher lows right here. And I would refrain from getting bullish on this thing, looking for that next major move, again, as long as you're below that region. So hopefully that's helpful, man. All right, cool. Got that one. Thanks for that. Oh, like appreciate that, man. Segsney0 said, or Segsney0 says, rune, please. Again, no time frames given. So what do you do with something like this? Don't fucking know, but I'm just gonna go with a 4-hour daily, sir. Not strong on its own. Should have a short-term bounce here on a 4-hour. Short-term bounce, not to be confused with a reversal. Any sort of a 4-hour closure below 738, and I'm looking for this one to go for the full retrace back down about 680 or so for the next bouncy bounce. Until then, can't get excited about any sort of long-term continuation as long as you are closing daily dodos below about 837. Same areas before. Did I chart this one out? No, I did not chart this one out, but it'd actually just be right here, which you did test into yesterday, but did not close above yesterday, which is obviously what matters more. But I guess the hopium is that long term is that you're doing something like this, accumulating in a range like this. Fair enough. I guess still, you know, available. So yeah. Anyways, we have Nuke Tech. He's next. Oh, Decentralized. What's up, man? Hopefully you're staying nice and warm over there. I know that you're a little bit more north of us, and it's already cold as hell here in Helsinki, man. Holy shit. FTM on the, oh, we already did FTM, man. Let me just briefly go back to this one on the daily really quickly here. Long expectations. Long term, I like a chart like this, but it doesn't mean that it's going to go up exactly from this price point right here. I'd still be using the same sort of resolution point on the daily as before. I mean, we hit that target based off the break of 190, which was, what is this, 235. I just need to see a daily closure above there, and then, yeah, I'd be extending targets up towards $2.90 to $3 or so. Until then, I mean, the hopium is that you're setting in higher lows on the lower term time frames, but that doesn't really get destroyed until you come back down and close below about 190. Below 190, I do look for this one to correct back down somewhere around the mid to lows of this range. But until then, I mean, you know, I think a chart like this is better than not long term. You know, should be looking at a monthly coming into the end of the year here, and this is going to be good long term. So I'm a lot more inclined to say that it probably does push on through long term for what it's worth. And hopefully that's helpful, man. And I think that be the end of the stream. Did I do who? Yeah, I did. I did Vishal, but like he's just like long or short on fucking GTC. I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, so I think that's actually it, man. And we are just at around two hours here. I need to like walk a fucking hour to my gym now because it's gonna take fucking forever. My regular one's closed, but it's whatever. Anyways, sirs and sirs, it's been an absolute pleasure on this nice Tuesday morning over here. I'm gonna be signing off now, man. I need to protect my voice. My voice getting a little bit raspy right now. So hopefully this stream was in some way valuable or helpful. If it wasn't, hey, what the hell? What just happened right there? Why? Did I just delete my XBT chart? Hold on. Sorry. Stupidness. There we go. Get that one back on the board. Thank the Lord. Let me just throw this one back up over there. Need to have everything nice and properly done. There we go. Anyways, I'm going to be signing off now, man. It's been an absolute pleasure on this nice little Tuesday morning over here from a very cold and snowy Helsinki, Finland. We'll be back on tomorrow doing the same thing, same time, same place. Stay safe in this market. Be aware of where the major pivots are, because if Bitcoin does start to really lose these levels, it very likely is the full-on round trip back to the back to the current lows at minimum. Until then, I think that there's still a little bit short-term hopium, at least for a bit of a bouncy bounce. So, wishing you the best yet again. I'm going to be closing it down. Elsa was snapping her fingers in the background because she loves you. With that said, take care and hopefully see you very soon.
Write it, code it, name it, tweet it, mine it, stack it, live it, dream it, post it, scan it, charge it, send it, do it, and receive it. Trade it, buy it, sell it, store it, run it, list it, first rename it. Crypto logic. Pump it, hack it, lose it, dump it, sell it, ditch it, XR, pitch it, copy, paste it, nudge it, test it, build it, try it, bend it, fork it, hype it, pump it, dump it, rinse, repeat, but quick relocate. Pause it, list it, send it, burn it,